Alrighty, Savia. It's been lovely chatting with you off the recording here. I want to go ahead and just start this interview. And Savia, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So I would love for you to introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about your professional experience, and we'll go from there.
Well, Jarlene, same. I have had enjoyed speaking to you as well. And my name is Savia. I am an Orlando native, born and raised here. Basically, I have applied to this position because I have had some experience, previously with just customer service and onboarding, helping, assisting with HR in transition for any employees. Um, my work experience is pretty extensive. I have my background is in customer service. Basically, I've started off with technical support. I've done medical, customer service, insurance, benefits verification, specialty pharmacy. So I've talked to every kind of customer you could imagine. And it's really I really just enjoy working through and solving the problems that they're encountering. So with my knowledge and training, I just feel like anything that they throw at me, I'm prepared, for any issue, any instance, any information. So
Amazing. And Savia, that was a great introduction to, where you have come from as far as your professional experience and what you've done.
mhm,
Now, you first started with referencing that you've worked in a role such as this before,
yeah,
as a benefits coordinator through Randstad. So tell me a little bit more about that role and what
yes.
your day looked like at that.
Okay, yes, this was before COVID. We did, I was a contractor assisting with onboarding for Legoland. So basically, what my day was, I would come in. I do have a list of, calls that I would need, people that I would need to reach out to just to connect to see, did they get the email for the third party background check, or did they submit the documentation? Did they sign electronically? Because sometimes that is the big thing that a lot of people can miss. So just basically checking all of those details and making sure all necessary documentations are submitted. And then as far as enrolling employees into the benefits, just making sure that their documentation for their dependents is correct. Different states have different qualifications. So just making sure I discuss that with employees as well. So something similar to that. Yeah.
And then that was a project, if I'm not mistaken, correct? You were there
Yes.
for about how long?
I did that for about two to 3 months. Again, this was like right before COVID hit. So after that, I did venture off into at home doing remote specialty pharmacy, but that was my first encounter with working with Randstad on a contract doing onboarding with Legoland.
Amazing. So you have that skill set already for this kind of role. Now I want to go back to your experience because you also have worked in the healthcare
Mhm.
industry. So you've done receptionist work, you've also done patient care coordinator, claims manager as well. In
Yeah.
the midst of all of that, prior to us jumping into this conversation, you also mentioned that you have, if I'm not mistaken, is it payroll experience as well, briefly? Tell me about that.
Yes, yes. My experience working with Breed Group as a claims manager, I did have some experience with processing payroll when employees are out on leave of absence. It can be maternity leave, FMLA, just any, even short-term disability, and where I would be responsible with calculating 60% of their pay, explaining their holding week, and just basically setting the expectations on what's to happen with your benefits while you are out on a leave of absence.
Beautiful. And with that, since you were doing payroll, was there a particular system that you were utilizing that you recall?
Um, Yes, I don't recall the
Mhm.
name. I do know it was the ADP system that we would have to use for reporting, but I don't recall the actual name of the processing. But
No worries.
just entering that data in and making sure those numbers are correct so that the employees don't miss, their benefits or their pay, because it can be a domino effect if anything goes wrong during that time while they're out on the leave. So I've had experience with communicating those details, and then just, of course, entering that data to make sure payroll is running successfully.
Amazing. In addition to using ADP for payroll, Savia, what are some other systems that you have used or are familiar with? It can be, your Google or Microsoft systems or any others. Tell me a few.
Well, just, of course, Microsoft is the main thing, mainframe that we use on a daily basis, Excel, just to keep track, of any major issues, that we're looking, like escalated issues that we're looking to fix. So we would have an Excel sheet, um, basically just any like EHR processing, systems for medical data, and just I don't anything, with maintaining HIPAA privacy laws, and just being careful not to disclose any protected health information. But I'm adaptable, so any system you put in my hands, I'm a fast learner. It's no issue.
Amazing. And since Asava, this is a customer service role, right?
Yes.
Even though this is the title's different, this is a customer service role. So
Mhm.
I'd love to know, what does customer service mean to you?
Well, just, in the name itself, I'm here to provide a service to customers, clients, especially when it comes to benefits, and understanding the things that are offered to you through your new job, through this new opportunity. You want to make sure you're getting, the most of your benefits. So I'm glad to, explain or go into any details, just make it a more layman's term, for the average man and woman who are encountering these issues. So customer service is me providing the service, and that's what I aim to do. That's what I will do.
That was spot on. And my last question for you is going to be, when were you looking to start a new opportunity?
Definitely within like the next 2 weeks or so. I'm looking to start as soon as possible. Again, my resume, it's there, it's prepared, it's ready to review. I'm ready to go. So
That's
whatever is needed or required, just yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Savia, it's been lovely chatting with you. I'm gonna go ahead and stop our interview, but don't hang up on me quite yet. I want to continue chatting with you.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Thank you.